stand up? Otherwise, it'll be your last gig. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Birmingham. Welcome, welcome. Yay! Thanks for coming tonight. Of course, we heard the notorious voice of JK there. Thank you, JK, for a stunning promo as we gear up to a major night for British boxing. November the 30th in Birmingham, back in Birmingham, as we continue this great run of shows in the Midlands. This time, we've got a domestic classic for you. The man to my right, Sonny Edwards, the former world champion, the man who went out to attempt to unify against Bam Rodriguez, fighting one of Birmingham's greatest ever fighters, certainly their best amateur fighter, the Olympic gold medalist, Galal Yafai. It's exactly the kind of fight that we want to make, a pure 50-50 domestic matchup for the WBC Interim World Championship, of course, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. So much more to tell you about on this table as well. And firstly, after his performance at the weekend, going to 5-0, I wanted to particularly welcome and introduce, of course, Ibrahim Spider Suleiman up until the top table. Ibrahim has been a fighter that we've worked with for a long time now. As I said, 5-0 after that win in Sheffield. And I've always felt like he's part of the family. Sometimes you feel like you don't really need contracts, because when I first met JK and talking to him, the belief, the popularity he has in this city, we were on board. But today we officially announce a new multi-year partnership with Spider Ibrahim Suleiman, and welcome officially to the Matchroom Boxing.
Let's go, come on.
Spider, we know that, you know, the cut was a bad cut. We know we're doing everything we can to get out November 30th. It's very important to you. Already looks like it's healing up after a couple of days, but I just wanted to say welcome to the team, and time to kick on now with your professional career.
Yeah, that's it, man. First, we've got to say alhamdulillah. It's a bad cut, but we've got to accept it and move on. It is what it is. It's part of the game. And that's it. Hopefully this recovers quick and we're back out ASAP.
Your opponent on Saturday, never been stopped, and you had him out of there, really. It was only a matter of time. Improving so quickly now, and already talking to JK about stepping up the rounds and moving towards area titles as well, and probably, certainly English and maybe even British titles towards the end of 2025.
Yeah, of course, that's the plan. Now that I'm contracted, we can move forward. I got a plan, ready to conquer the world, take it a step at a time, and you'll see my name at the top, inshallah.
Well, welcome, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you November 30th.
That's it, let's go, Eddie, let's go.
Good man, good man. I'm very proud and excited about our young talent, and I think you're going to see a number of major signings for Matchroom worldwide over the next couple of weeks. It's really important that we invest in the young talent in this country. I feel like it's a real pivotal moment for British boxing at the moment, and you know, you'd have seen across social media talking about the changes that we're making to the schedule, changes we're making to the product, start times, everything. But it all stems off the young talent. This young man in Hamza Uddin, I think he's one of the best young fighters in the world. Not just in Birmingham, not just in the UK. I think this kid has got superstar potential. I was disappointed that he had a little hand injury and we couldn't carry on that momentum. But November 30th, big step up against Ben Norman, the area champion as well. And I think this kid's going to go on and win world titles, and I'm very, very excited about his future. Hamza, welcome back. November 30th in Birmingham, going to be a huge crowd, ready to keep this journey going.
Thank you for the lovely introduction, as always, Mr. Hearn. I can't wait. I'm a fighting man, and I can't wait to get my hands on someone and punch him in the face, and that's happening again on the 30th of November.
Yeah. Obviously, one thing we know that you've got is plenty of support as well. Birmingham is becoming a hotbed now for these big shows, and the future for you is huge. The potential is huge to bring all of those big fights to the Midlands.
100%. You can hear now. I'm not even from Birmingham, but the noise is great. Shout out to all of you lot. I can hear you loud and clear. I bring a lot of support, and there's a reason why. Because you know, I'm down to earth. I love my people, and I've got an exciting style. People like to tune in and watch me, and I'm just doing my thing. Keep going one step at a time, and almost there. We're getting there.
Now we know you've got one of the most annoying managers in the world in Sam Jones, but definitely one of the best managers in the world, because he just literally, sorry Sam, but literally doesn't leave us alone. He shares the enthusiasm to move you at a quick pace. Big step up, this one for you. to close out the year.
Yep. It's a big step up, but it's what I asked Sam for. I need a big step up, but the good thing is, you know, I have every trick in the book, and everyone will tell you about my power. I have more than power, but everyone will tell you about my power, and rightly so. But my first fight, I knocked out a bantamweight. My last fight, I smashed up a super bantam. But this fight, for the first time, I fight at flyweight. Flyweight is my weight, and flyweight, the world's gonna know Hamza Uddin's a big problem at flyweight.
We know that there is also a big flyweight main event. I mean, that's in time for you in the future. But I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell me about this main event. What do you think?
It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight.
Hey, Sonny's not next. He turned down the fight of my English champion, Brandon Dayoud. So let's settle about Sonny's next. We'll get through there first. We'll get through there first.
Come on, Sonny.
We'll get there. Tell the truth and shame the devil. You got offered that fight and your manager said no.
When was this? He's not even my weight. When was this? He's not even my weight, though.
He's English champion.
He's not my weight.
Yes,
he's
he is.
Fly?
He's a flyweight.
He's super fly.
He's a flyweight.
He's super fly and flyweight.
But he's a flyweight.
I'll fight him tomorrow. No problem.
Okay, well, forget Ben Norman. Hey, your manager's here. The promoter's here. Forget Ben Norman, who my fighter Brandon Dayoud beat in his last fight and won every round.
Oh, no issues, Sonny. No issues.
Fight Brandon then.
Sonny, Sonny, I am a big problem at flyweight. You know that?
Huh?
You know that? Brandon knows that too.
He's a flyweight, bro.
No, he's
a
not. He's a
flyweight.
super
I bet he's
fly.
about 54, 50.
He's a super fly
right now.
He's a super fly.
He's boxed at super fly. He's a flyweight.
If he's a flyweight, no problem.
Okay, then
you know that he knows that I'm a big problem at super. I'm a big problem at flyweight.
Beat him, Eddie.
Well, listen, I want to make this
Where's
fight
Brandon?
already.
Where is he?
Your manager's there. He turned the fight down on your behalf.
No problem.
He turned it down on your behalf. Is all I'm saying.
I ain't turning down nothing, brother. No problem.
So that might make it a little bit easier for you, Hamza. Who wins between Sonny Edwards and Galal Yafai?
Well, I'm saying Galal now. I'm not saying nah. Go on, Galal.
Hey, it's all right because you'll be sparring my brother soon.
No. You know what?
My brother soon. Yeah.
You know what?
Shit.
Really, 100%. My Charlie's my boy, man.
Okay.
You know what? It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. You know, listen. They're doing good things for the flyweight division.
Come on, let's have some reality here.
Reality is I'm a big problem in this division, man. You know that. Everyone knows that. You don't know that.
He turned down the fight. What fight? No,
we didn't.
He turned down the fight of my fighter for this card.
We said no problem.
This fight.
We said Brandon Dayoud is no problem. He's no problem.
Tell me I'm lying.
Sonny, there's levels to the game. There's
Someone in the
levels.
room tell me I'm lying.
Sonny, there's levels.
Tell me I'm lying.
Sonny, there's levels.
Tell me I'm lying.
Go on, Sam.
Oh, but he just said he'll fight him next. He said he'll fight him tomorrow.
That's fine.
Not in. There we go. Forget Ben Norman then. Forget Ben Norman then.
Bring him.
Forget Ben Norman then. We've got a fight for the 30th of November. Forget Ben Norman, man. Forget Ben Norman. We've got your opponent.
Bring him, man. 100%. Yeah, Bam can get it too. Soon. He knows that.
So he should be able to beat the English
He knows
champion easy. That should be easy for him. Oh, see, now you're changing it. A minute ago he'll do it and he'll fight him and it was easy.
Sonny, no problem, man. No problem.
A minute ago his family was saying Sonny next. A minute ago it was me next. I'm saying fight my English champion and have me after. That's sound. Nice.
It's no issues. It's no issues.
I wanted to pop up for them to do with me.
Look at these boxing managers, man.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Hamza Uddin, everybody. Okay. A man down the far end of the table is a guy that started his pro career. I watched this guy fight at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, and I couldn't believe the support that he had. Started off his career like a train with Matchroom, bringing hundreds and hundreds of people from Coventry, and after 15 months out of the ring with injury, it's like we've got a brand new prospect on our hands with Aaron Bowen. Aaron, welcome back. It's a big moment for you. Must have been an incredibly frustrating period, but ready to really kick on now with your professional career.
Yeah, grateful to Matchroom and all the sponsors I have, and I'm grateful for the city of Coventry, you know. Them times it was tough and hard times a year watching everyone carry on. I'm sat on the sideline. They really got me through it, and like you say, big numbers coming on this show. It couldn't have been a better show to come back on, and I owe it to them just as much as I owe it to myself. And November 30th, we're coming to make some noise and start that journey back to a world title, which I truly believe I can do.
When I saw you recently at the weigh-in last time out, you talked about wanting to move quick. I mean, you wanted to move quick even before the injury. And now I guess with that time out the ring, there's a real feeling that you've got to make up for lost time. So get this fight done and then really move on to area and English titles in 2025.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sparring world title contenders, you know. I handle myself fine in there, and I do believe I can move quick. I've had the amateur pedigree. The numbers I get, the support I get, there's no reason why I can't be on a main event or a co-main event, and I truly believe I'm going to get there. And you know, I'm grateful to Matchroom for keeping me on, but so frustrating watching everyone get moved on and me sat on the sideline. So yeah, really looking forward to starting Aaron Byrne 2.0.
Well, looking forward to seeing you back. Very, very exciting super middleweight. Going to be in some great fights. Also on this card, not here today because they're on holiday, Cameron Vong against Gavin Gwynn. Tremendous lightweight matchup. I think we need to give Cameron a lot of credit and respect out of the speed that he's moving. I think we talk about Hamza Udin as one of the best prospects in the world. I put Cameron Vong in the same mould. This Gavin Gwynn fight is a very, very tough fight. You know, former European lightweight champion, former British lightweight champion. It's a tremendous fight for this card. And we look forward to seeing those two face off on Fight Week. Another brilliant fight for a great night of boxing. When I was making this card, obviously, we've got Cameron against Gwynn. We've got a great fight to talk about with Lewis Ritson and Conor Walker as well. But I wanted something before the bell. I wanted something local. I wanted something domestic. And I said to Tom Dallas, just give me a war, will you? Give me a local kid that's going to sell a load of tickets and have a war. And he threw up the English light heavyweight championship between Troy Jones and Michael Stevenson. Troy, of course, from Birmingham, undefeated, sells a huge amount of tickets as well. And this is very important to make these good domestic fights for the undercard. Michael, welcome. First of all, thanks for making the trip up today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Into the Lion's Den on November 30th, but a shot at the English light heavyweight title.
Yeah, that's it, like I said. I appreciate the support. I went to the little story. I went to the Matchroom 5K with Terence Crawford last week, and I saw Frank Smith running, and I went up to him. I go, Frank, get me in versus Troy English title. A week later, my manager rang me saying, yeah, you're on the show. So I was buzzing. So
that's a lesson to all fighters. Make sure you attend the Matchroom 5K. It can literally change your life, you know.
Yeah, I was with Kieran Corner and he goes, Mike, you're mad. I go, no, you don't ask, you don't get. A week later, I'm here. So thank you. Good.
And part of course, the Northampton team down there with Kieran Conway as well. And Chantel Cameron going well as well. It's a burgeoning fight city as well.
Yeah, like I said, the talent is coming through mad. So, yeah, we just watch out for Northampton Town as well.
Tell us a little bit about the mindset going into a fight like this. You've got a couple of defeats on the record. You've taken fights at short notice as well. All of a sudden, you're on the big stage, fighting for the English Championship as well. 0 to lose. Just ready to give it everything.
Yeah, but I'm going in as a winner's mentality. If I go in as an underdog, it's not going to work out well. Like I said, I've had 2 losses, where they're 2 learning fights, to be fair. And, yeah, so like I said, going in, I know what Troy's about, and he's going to have a hard night. So, yeah.
Troy, welcome. Fight made yesterday. Yeah. Errol, who we're very fond of, pushed you on the show. We know you're very popular around these parts. A great fight, a great prospect, undefeated English champion as well. Big platform for you November 30th.
This is what I've been working towards. I've done my apprenticeship, Eddie. You've probably seen I've done my apprenticeship. He told you the story about the fight, about how he asked about it. But you know what, kids? Be careful what you ask for, mate. And you mentioned the Lion's Den. He's going to find out what it's like when he's in there. 100%. And just thank you for having me. And it's the platform that I need. And you'll have me back, Eddie. You'll have me back.
Yeah, I've heard good things as well. The man to my left sounds up for it. Yeah. Massive opportunity for him.
Troy knows what he's coming in for. That's the thing. He knows what he's coming in for. So
he's going to find out what the Lion's Den's like, Eddie, when he's in there, and he's going to regret asking me. But fair play for asking, and they'll all find out on November 30th what I'm about.
And we know that everybody from the Midlands, everybody on this card, big ticket sellers as well. Yeah. Expecting plenty of noise for you as well, and a big turnout on the night.
There'll be plenty of noise. And the Midlands got some good talent. It's a good time to be coming up and coming in the Midlands. I couldn't have asked for a better card, so I appreciate you getting me on there, and all the lads being there. And I'll make some noise in there. Make some noise.
Good man. The English Light Heavyweight Championship.
Thank you, everyone.
Forward to that one. And this fight's a great fight. 2 guys that we're very fond of. I think Conor Walker last time out, it was such a brilliant fight. you know, it was a fight with Lewis Crocker that could have gone either way. I know that he feels that he won the fight, but for me, one of the fights of the year. When you talk about heart, when you talk about guts, this kid just epitomises all of it. So much so that when Liam Smith pulled out of the fight on the Riyadh season card, Sam Jones was just, again, wouldn't leave me alone. Get Conor Walker on, please, give it to Conor. I wanted to give it to Conor Walker. And sometimes people look at, this is why records are for DJs, because they're so deceiving. You look at the record of Conor Walker and you think, wow, is he, you know, this kid's a real handful. And Lewis Ritson has been there, he's done it all. And this is a real throwback fight, a brilliant welterweight fight. But to be honest, when you talk about winner stays on, that we talk about a lot, this is almost like loser goes home. Neither guy can afford to lose this fight. You know, for Lewis, coming off a defeat, both of them coming off a defeat. But a must win for both. And the styles will gel beautifully in this fight. Lewis, welcome. 8 weeks coming up this Saturday. You look fit, you look strong. And this is what you're all about now. Taking the opportunities, taking the big fights, and carrying on rolling the dice.
Yeah, 100%. Got a really hard fight with Conor. He's took his chance against Cyrus and he's just getting better and better since then. But where he had to upset the apple cart, and we're more than 100% confident we can do that.
Obviously, you've moved up to welterweight now, which I know you're much more comfortable at, but it's kind of like you need the time to bed into that weight as well. I know you had a great fight with Paddy Donovan as well, but really the first big fight at welterweight as well. Happy up there and ready to go to the trenches in Birmingham.
Yeah, 100%. I've got that ring rust off. You know, I come off loss with Paddy, but hadn't been in the ring for like a year and a half. And styles make fights, and Paddy wasn't the right style for me, but I believe Conor is. We're both the same style for each other. And it can't be nothing but a barnstormer. And, you know, you can say it's make or break really for both in this part of our career. So, got to win. So, going to come fit as we can, and hopefully we can pull that off.
Yeah, when you talk about styles, Paddy Donovan, difficult to nail down, slick and elusive. Conor can box as well, but can this be anything but a classic?
No, both like to come forward, both like the body shots, both like to stand there and not give much ground. So it's survival of the fittest, and you know Conor's got a good engine on him. He's a very fit kid, but we know what we need to do on the night, and we need to be fitter than him, need to be stronger than him, need to be tougher than him, and we think we can roll back the dice and do that.
Well, Conor, exactly the kind of fights that you live for. We know I've never known you to turn down a fight, turn down an opportunity. Last time out was a fight of the year contender. This time, great fight against Lewis Ritson, an absolute must win for you.
Yeah, mate, that's it. Hello. Swap them over.
It'll be on now.
Hello. Wait, I'll just use this one. Yeah, where was I? Look, last fight was what it was. You know, I don't want to revisit it in terms of the scorecards or the result. You know, it is what it is. I've took a lot from it. And, you know, obviously we had the chat after, which it sort of put a little bit of a good spin on a bad situation. And look now, you know, I've got Lewis Ritson. Listen, I've been a fan of Lewis Ritson. I've watched him when I've come up. I was in the amateurs. He was doing things, you know, we could only dream of. You know, I think he was the fastest to win the British outright. He was just obliterating guys. You know, so I've been a fan of him. I just think with my run of form, I just think I'm just going to be that much better. And you know, he hasn't. You know, I think, like you say, our styles are going to gel. I think, you know, neither of us are slicksters, and I think he was obviously his last time out against Paddy. Paddy just wasn't there, so it was hard for him to show anything. Do you know what I mean? So he's not gonna have that problem with me. We're gonna meet in the middle, and like he said, it's the toughest survives.
Last time out, incredible atmosphere. I mean, your support is growing all the time. They love the night out, and they'll be there in their numbers as well. Obviously, big main event, but another big card and huge support coming out to watch you in this must-win fight.
Yeah, I'm expecting, like I said, you know, to double that again and bring more. I think obviously I've gained a few fans from the last fight, and I believe rightly so. I think this is where I should be. I feel like I should be on this side of the table. I feel like I should be on this table, and I've worked my arse off to get here, and I'm here to stay. I keep, we're back in the gym, we're working hard, polishing the edges, and I'm just going to become a more complete fighter. Every time I fight, I'll just become a more complete fighter. And that's all I want to do. You know what I mean? I just want to keep ticking the boxes. I've ticked a box, just gone. He was a difficult fighter, Crocker. He's a good fighter, but me doing that and that proves where I'm at. Where he's at. I think his rankings. He's highly ranked and he's highly touted to be the next best thing at world level. So surely that makes me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future.
Good. Well, must win for both. It's a hell of a welterweight matchup. Conor Walker against Lewis Ritson. Now we go to the main event. For me, like I said, one of the best fights in British boxing. I can't wait for this fight. Bloodline. You know the history through the amateurs, through the families. This fight has everything. It's absolute must win. I'm going to start with a quiet one. Sonny Edwards. Sonny, welcome. This is what you're all about, isn't it? I mean, never really turn down a fight. Always want the biggest possible fights. But the thing that fascinates me about this fight more than anything is how confident each of you are that you win this fight. You don't seem to have any fear going into this fight, 100% convinced in your mind that you will be victorious on November 30th.
Do you know what I think it is? And it's probably the same for Galal. I feel like we both chase competition. We've both spent the last 10 years, decades, the best part of it, if not anyway, going around the world and facing the best challenges or trying to. I don't fear losing. I don't fear the harm another person, especially not someone my size, can do to my body. I think I like the challenges, so it's never about this fight or that fight. It's pretty much, Eddie, what fight do you want? Because you should want the biggest fight, because you're not in the business of promoting small fights. So I don't really care, or am I never going to be scared against anyone that weighs 112 pounds, I'll be real, Eddie. And Galal is probably one of the best in the world, and he has been for a few years now, especially in the amateurs and the Olympic setup, and he's shown that he took to the pro game like a duck to water, and yeah, he's done everything asked of him. I know that there's some people maybe questioning whether this is too soon or wondering why the fight's happening. Look, I was always ready for this fight. For me, it was always inevitable. Yeah, maybe I thought it'd probably take a little bit longer, but we've got the fight now. I'm happy for it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Why do you beat
Galal Yafai? We know you're a great pundit on the zone. You know the game inside out. I know you won't give away the game plan, but what areas are you better? Why are you winning this fight in November?
The same reasons I pretty much beat everyone else. I think my footwork, my IQ, my decision making, my engine, my activity during the rounds. I'm very hard to win rounds against. And yeah, Galal's, like I said, and like I'll keep giving him. He is a fantastic fighter, a great operator, and for me, I think the best thing about this fight is it's going to give the fans again something to watch back. And I think the only time that's really happened so far in my career is when I lost against Bam. So I'm trying to have that a fight worth watching back that I win. I mean, I can always box and I can always move, but it doesn't really make the best spectacle. But against Galal, we just get in there and we just start having it out straight away, pretty much. We're never too far away from each other. One, two steps at a time. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to a great all-British fight. Former world champion versus former Olympic gold medalist. The Edwards Yafai names have been partnered for years before me even, and Galal even. And, yeah, if you look at any super flyweight accolade or achievement over the last 5-10 years of British boxing, it's come from an Edwards or a Yafai. So the names have been together, and it's about now seeing what names that little bit further in front.
Seems to be that respect between you two, seen a little bit of backwards and forwards between the brothers, all part of the game, or is that just Sonny Edwards on social media?
No, I'll be real. I really like Galal. I mean, we've spent a lot of time sparring, we've spent a lot of time on GB together, And even when it's kind of like your rival because he's getting picked for stuff over and whatnot, and even when all the families got dragged in, but it's not really about that. I mean, okay, yeah, Cal, I've always had a good relationship. I know Gamal said a few things on social media, whether he's trying to get in my head, sell the fight, or just let me know he don't like me. It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. This fight is between me and Galal. It's representing the Edwards name and the Yafai name, and I think it's a great fight for Birmingham, and I think it's a massive card in this part of the world, and there's some fantastic fighters all up and down this card. Yeah, it's what British boxing should be. I think at the moment we've been getting nicked of the big fights. I'll be wrong. I think they've just been escaping somewhere we can go an hour or two, maybe get a hotel and watch it. So the fact that I can be a part of bringing British boxing and meanwhile, worthwhile fights to Britain, then I'll keep trying to do so. And I don't see no other British fighter out there in or around my weight divisions that will bring as much to the fight as Galal will. So, yeah, this is the fight.
Galal, fresh off victory on Saturday. It was a horrible one that we had to endure, but we know it was a necessary one with the inactivity to get out. It's kind of like the moment has come. You know, although you've had 8 10-round fights, this is a massive step up for you, but one that you feel is time for.
Yeah, I know there's a few complaints about me fighting on Saturday, but something I had to do. I'm selfish. I've got to be the best Galal Yafai I want to go into fight Sonny, and I'll make sure I'm the best. And like I said before, he wants to win, I want to win, and there'll be one winner on the night, but the certain winners will be the fans, so I'm looking forward to putting on a show.
I remember we started talking about this fight maybe like 3 or 4 fights ago. You know, it just started to get mentioned across social media. And you've always told me that you want the fight. It's a fight that you're very confident about winning. The same question to you that I asked Sonny. Why do you beat Sonny Edwards on November 30th?
I wish I knew the answer. I'd be Houdini then. But I'll show everyone 30th of November. Obviously, he's got his game plan. I've got mine. But if anybody's seen the spars, they know it's a proper fight. This ain't a bullshit fight. I know we're flyweights and we're small and people don't care as much about our weights, but this is a proper fight and I ain't coming to die down and just take the money and just live off that. I'm coming to do what I got to do, and I'm sure he is as well.
We talk about those spars. There's so much in the build-up to Joshua Dubois and stuff like that. How much do you take from those spars? And in your opinion, who got the better of those spars?
No, I'm joking. You know what? It was good spars. They were 50-50 spars. Like, I'm going to sit here and bullshit and say, I beat him up and whatnot. They were good spars, competitive. Listen, Sonny's stubborn. I'm stubborn. That's what's going to make a good fight. You think I'm going to allow Sonny to come to Birmingham and just run rings around me? And you think he's going to let me just pressure him and beat him up? It ain't going to happen. We're both going to do what we can to win, and I'll show everyone in November.
We know you're pretty quiet and you're not one for
just a little bit
for the beef and the build-ups, but see a little bit of spring in your step for this one because it's the first big challenge, isn't it? And you know, I know there's respect, but let's be honest, there is rivalry as well. There's always been rivalry between you two, and this is important personally, but very important for your career at world level.
Yeah, I'm always quiet because the other guys I fight don't speak English. But now with Sonny, people don't really know. We fought nearly 10 years ago. So this has been bubbling for years and years. And he went on to win the world title. I went on to win Olympic gold. We both did our bit in the bargain. And now we're here now at Crossroads. So trust me, I do not want to lose to Sonny Edwards, and he doesn't want to lose to Galal Yafai.
Well, thank you. Tremendous fight. We're going to go to the floor now. We've got some questions from the media with the microphone at the back. Yes, Joe.
Yeah, Sonny, in kind of recent interviews, you've kind of questioned the decision for Galal to go to the Olympic qualifiers. As you sit here, former world champion, do you feel like you could have been sitting here, former world champion and Olympic gold medalist? And does that give you that extra bit of motivation for November 30th?
I think my questions was never whether Galal was good enough or shouldn't have. To be honest, I think my questions are more at the system. I mean, the same person who was not only training his brother, but making the decisions of who got to get sent where and when at the during the Olympics and to the qualifiers and whatnot, is also the same person that's negotiating with Eddie Hearn about this fight, and is also the same person that's going to be in the ring on fight night, and they're still training at the same gym that was lottery funded and provided for, you know, by Sports Aid and everything else, etc. For me, it just seems like the game is a bit skewed. Why have I got to walk into a system where there's already connections above my head, and fast forward 8 years, I'm still battling that same setup, and they're still using taxpayers' lottery-funded money to run their gym and to pay the wages of the physios and the analysts and the nutritionists and the second cornerman and the flats that they stay in over the road. To me, it just stinks a little bit that one man has been given this grace that he can decide who's the Olympians and then also sign them and train them at the same gym. To me, that just seems a bit crazy, to be honest.
It was justified. I won Olympic gold. Justified.
Yeah, for you, of course it's justified for you. You won an Olympic gold, of course it is. But I mean, the fact that, you know, that person making those decisions trains you still and manages you now to this day, and at the time was training your big brother in the professional ring. It just, you know, like, come on, Galal, I know the irony is not lost on you. Like, you can't say there is no advantage or no disadvantage from having that person also being able to decide, you know, because my gripe was, in 2 consecutive years, me and Harvey Horn had both beaten Galal, and then within 6 months, he was by far and away the number one by opportunities. Me and Harvey hadn't been getting sent nowhere. So, like I said, it was like an old powers act, and faces fitted. So obviously it's not personal towards me or anyone around me, but these are just my personal gripes that I've had to sit with for 10 years. It didn't start with GB, it just finished there. It started on England, but, you know, when the decisions are getting made by a few humans in a room with their own agendas and with their own wants and their own relationships and their own friendships, that the person that picked the person to go in front of me all those years ago, who I'd beaten within the calendar month, and is now still doing his corner, and they're still training at the same gym, that was all paid for by lottery tickets and taxpayer money. I just don't think it sits right with me, but I'm just a boxer, so who cares what I think?
Next question. Yes.
Good afternoon. I've got a question. It's Abs from October Red. For Troy Jones, shout out to the BCB crew that are here this afternoon. When you sit at the top table, your Matchroom debut, and you hear Eddie Hearn say, look, for example, the Conor Walker, the Lewis Ritson fight, this is your do or die fight. You either stay, winner stays on, or loser goes home. What kind of pressure does that put on you for your Matchroom debut?
Yeah, you know what? There's no pressure. There's no pressure. I think there's only pressure when you don't do the work in the gym and you don't know what you can do in the ring. I know what I can do in the ring. I know I'll be staying on. And hearing Eddie say my name when I got the phone call yesterday, it's what dreams are made of. People like me, I've been on the small hall shows, and then to come here, it's already a dream come true. But when I get in there and do the business on him, which I will do the business on him, they'll know who I am then. But yeah, I just want to thank you, Eddie, the Matchroom show, and I won't let anyone down watching me. That's a promise.
Questions, guys?
Question from me. I'd like to ask Cal how Galal actually beat Sonny, because we were supposed to be sitting up on the press conference today. You've paid for me to come all the way here to promote this fight, and you're sitting down there. So I just wondered how you think Galal should go about beating Sonny on fight night.
Question for Cal?
Cal, yeah.
Cal.
Go on, Cal.
How does Galal beat Sonny?
Short and sweet.
What was that?
You'll find out on November 30th.
And just one last thing. On the way here, I left my daughter to come here as well. I passed through duty free, and I got you a little present for old time's sake for for my mate.
Brilliant, Charlie.
My big brother, you know. Shout out Charlie Edwards.
Yes, Oscar.
A question for both Galal and Sonny, open table. Who has more dislike for the other?
I like Galal, so I actually think Galal is one of the most balanced and...
Cheers, mate.
Nah, serious. Like, without sucking your dick, it's just...
Wait.
He's a genuine person. Like, he's genuine, and like we've had conversations about this fight after pretty much every single spar that we've had. Like, this was always coming. We was always excited for it. Like, Cal, Gamal, Galal, they're a good fighting family. Let's be real. Okay, no things get said back and forth, but the only reasons why the Edwardses keep getting back to the Yafais is because we're all good fighters, and we've all done everything that's asked of us. And yeah, 30th of November, it's all in the light for the two families, and I'm excited.
Galal, what do you think of Sonny?
I think he's a whack now. You know what? I've got along with Sonny for years. We're sporting rivals. That don't mean we have to hate each other. Always got to be, us fighting and swearing and whatnot. We prove what we've got to prove in the ring, and that's it.
Gamal, what do you think of Sonny?
Relax, Gamal.
Any other questions, guys? Yes.
Question for Galal, and I guess for both really, but starting off with Galal, you mentioned the sparring there. You mentioned obviously the amateur fights, and for those fights there was sort of, I guess, not many people watching, 10 people at most watching in a spar, to now sort of when you look behind you, you've got Edwards, Yafai, Birmingham, especially as a flyweight main event as well. How special is that you've sort of transformed it from the sparring to the amateur fight to now earning big money in a main event slot?
Yeah, it's you know what, it's great, and you never really know what's going to happen in the future. When we first met, in the ring 9-10 years ago, we never would have thought we'd be here now. But like I said earlier in a few of the interviews, Sonny's done his bit of the bargain. He's became world champion. He's made himself a name. He's made himself relevant. And I've done my bit as well. I became Olympic champion. So I can only thank him for making this a big fight too. Hopefully it's a good fight for me, not him.
All right, guys, I think we're done. The interim WBC Flyweight World Championship on the line. The winner will go on to fight for the WBC title. It's must win, a domestic classic. Sonny Edwards against Galal Yafai. A huge night of boxing from Birmingham. Still some championship fights to announce. Big pre-sale yesterday. Official general sale tomorrow. Get your tickets. We know that these guys are going to be selling a huge amount of tickets for the show. But everybody watching, get yourself to a true British classic. November 30th, we're going to face off the guys. Thank you for attending tonight. We'll see you soon. Thank you.